Hello and good afternoon. Ross, I understand that you had some trouble understanding, some certain information about tools of measurement,
hmm
correct? I know that prior you couldn't understand or couldn't compute what a foot meant in relations to the actual information and the units in the ruler, correct?
hmm
Okay, so examples of tools of measurement is a foot. So a foot equals how many inches?
12.
Correct. So an example,
Wait, cut? Was
an
I supposed to
example,
know that?
yes, because we've actually talked about it, throughout the school day. So example of a tool of measurement we can say is a foot. What does a foot equal, Ross?
12 inches.
12 inches. Can you come up to the board and write that, please?
Absolutely.
Inches. Stay right there, Ross. I have a question to ask you. So, what other examples of measurement can you think of that we use in our daily lives?
Um, yards?
Yards is one. Can we write that on the board? Yards. What can we use yards for? Can we use yards to measure, let's say, the bottom of your foot?
No.
No. Would that be an appropriate form of measurement?
No.
Why is that? Was yards too small? Too
It's too
big?
big.
Right, correct. It's too big. So, what would we use yards to measure?
Um, buildings.
Buildings is an example. Let's say, think about your school community.
hmm
What would you measure? Yards would be more appropriate. Let's
the
say
schoolyard.
schoolyard also. Schoolyard. About a football field,
Yeah.
right? Football field or soccer field,
hmm
correct? Also, can you give me some other examples, let's say, that aren't necessarily things that you can measure physically? What about something that you don't always see? We keep track of this a lot. I'm gonna give you an example here. This is also an example of measurement. Here we have a watch. Watch uses minutes, seconds, milliseconds to measure what?
Time.
Correct. So we also have a watch equals measurement
Time.
of time. How is time important in our daily lives?
Well, it helps to make a schedule.
Helps to make a schedule. What else?
Um,
Also, time helps you in terms of, let's say, getting to work on time, getting up for school, to brush your teeth on time, right? So measuring time and knowing exactly what time certain things are can help you in your daily life help manage your time better,
hmm
correct? Can we think of any other forms of measurement that we use in your daily life?
um,
Because I know back in the day we used to use pen and paper to do calculations, math calculations, let's say addition, subtraction, multiplication, or even advanced math such as calculus, pre-calc, trigonometry, um, anything like that. So, what is a form of that measurement tool that we can use? What is that called?
from measuring.
hmm How do we measure? How do we compute addition or subtraction without using pen and
Numbers.
paper?
A
Yeah,
calculator.
exactly. Awesome. So next we have a calculator. It's a loose form, but we can use a calculator to measure math equations. Oh yeah, getting back to the watch, instead of using a watch that you might not have, what do you normally see in the classroom? Look up right there.
A clock.
A clock. So we can add a clock also. Ross, can you do me a favor? Can you go to your desk and actually get that calculator?
Alright.
Here we have a Texas Instrument graphing calculator. This is an example of using, this is an example of a tool of measurement. They're very advanced. They use batteries and all those other things that help make your life easier, right? When you first learn to add, subtract, multiply, once you know the basics, this will also help you in life too. So we could put this down. Also, let's talk about things that you guys use every day. You might not know, it might be a little obsolete right now, but I know as a child, I used to use this to listen to music. But a lot of people now use this for data storage, writing information onto this. It's circular. You put it in a CD drive or a CD player. Keyword is CD. So what does CD stand for?
Computer drive.
Computer drive? Close. Compact drive. So CD.
Yeah, I never really got
equals,
what that meant.
Yeah, CD is compact drive. So if you weren't familiar about what it was before, you're familiar now. Compact drive. We can use this form to store information. And each CD, I'll show you, has a certain amount of information that can be measured and recorded on here. So this is a 4.7 gigabyte CD or DVD. Stores a lot of information that you can either view, listen to, or watch. Correct? Okay, Ross, after going through all these examples of tools of measurement, now to see what you know and how you can apply this information, I'd like you to go back to your desk, okay? And I'm going to hand you out a sheet.
Alright.
This sheet is going to help you and to help us think about different ways that we can use or utilize tools of measurement in our daily lives and what you use at home and what you use the most. Okay? Here you go. I'm going to give you a couple seconds just to look it over, just to make sure you know what it is. So Ross, can you read out the first question to me, and you can come to the board and read it out loud, please?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do we use to measure items in our daily life?
So what do you use to measure items in your daily life? You personally.
My phone. I could just ask Siri.
Yes, you could ask Siri, but let's say you didn't have an iPhone or had Siri. You could use your phone to look at the time. But let's say we always use a clock.
Mm-hmm.
We always, also too, when you're at home, what do your parents or your mom necessarily use to either bake or when they use a recipe?
Measuring cup.
Use a measuring cup. Correct. All right, let's get to the next question.
How do you use forms of measurement at home? What do you use the most?
All right, so what forms of measurement out of the ones that we listed? Because we listed a foot or a ruler. Ruler is a form of measurement. Equals 12 inches. A yardstick, watch, clock, calculator, CD, measuring cup. What do you use at home, Ross?
Clock.
Clock? What else?
Ruler.
A ruler. What do you use a ruler for when you're at home? Homework?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Calculator.
And a calculator. Awesome. Now let's think about outside of the home, in our community, and how we use forms of measurement. Or who would use a different form of measurement? Let's say doctors, correct? What do doctors use when you're at the doctor? What do they use a ruler for? Or let's say...
Measure height.
Yes. Awesome. measuring height. What else does a doctor use?
Scale.
Right. Doctors also use a scale. And what is a scale used to measure?
Weight.
Weight. Awesome. Correct. And weight is usually measured in what units?
Pounds.
Pounds. Right. Or for heavier objects, let's say trucks or
Lips.
no,
Tons.
kilograms. Cars can be measured in kilograms, or if you want to simplify it, tons.
Oh, I thought they were just measuring stuff by height.
No, not only by height, but by weight also. All right, thank you, Ross. You can go back to your desk.
My school never told me that.
Okay, so for today, I hope you understood the different forms of tools of measurement. I understand that prior to us, intervening and making you understand what a foot is, it's kind of hard to think about because I think you took the word and the term foot literally. A foot is in reference to 12 inches, which does equal a ruler, and ruler is one of our most basic forms.
I didn't really take it literally. I just didn't really know what the difference between an inch and a foot was.
Okay, so if you didn't know the difference between an inch and a foot, 1 inch
is
a fraction of a foot. A foot equals 12 inches, so 1 inch would equal 1/12 of a foot. Correct? Awesome. All right, so I'm going to give you some homework, to refresh the skills and everything that we went over today, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you.
Well.